Welcome to Oklahoma High School Girls Basketball Between the Lines with my man Coach V as we dig deep this week into some of the champions that took place over last weekend. Tonight we're going to have our special 5A state champion, the Carl Albert Titans. What's up, Coach V?
It actually feels like spring break today.
It does. The weather's nice. But I had to work. I got out of work. I had to drive halfway to Dallas to drop my baby girl off. I get home and she takes off. So that's how it works.
Did you cry?
We get to talk to a coach. I know he's probably on cloud 9, cloud 13, cloud 16. He's probably enjoying spring break like it ain't never been another spring break. So, we're going to have 3 special guests tonight. First time that we've had that many at one time. We're going to have Coach Richie, the head coach of the Lady Titans, the outstanding point guard in Jakari, and the big-time forward / center / point guard / she can do it all, Audrey Plunkett. So we're going to have them on tonight and talk about how they feel about winning the state championship. I know these young ladies probably feel good, and so does Coach Rich. They've been there. Last year they got close, but this year they closed the deal. So, Coach, you was at the game. What do you think before we bring them on?
It was a good game. I mean, there's a lot of pivotal game changes there. I mean, big buckets to answer buckets, and I thought it was a really tough game, physical game. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it. I mean, I like a little rivalry. I like where the referees let them play a little bit, maybe a little bit too much at times, but you know what? They let the players decide. And we took big charges when it needed to happen. Defense was good, and I thought Lady Titans were peaking at the right time.
No, Coach, I think that's what it's all about as well as March Madness. As you can see some of these playing games, man. I kind of like that, the playing game. I think what the Lady Titans did, they showed Newcastle the first time they played them, they wasn't scared of them, and so got a chance to redeem themselves and then play them again and got a little bit of get back. So, like I said, Coach, we ain't gonna take all the thunder from them. We're gonna bring them on and let them talk about the great moments that they had last Saturday afternoon. Welcome to the stage, Lady Titans and Coach Rich. How y'all doing?
Great. How you doing?
Good.
Man, I know you guys, all three of you guys, man. I know it's spring break, but I feel like you guys are, if you had enough time, you guys probably would have went to Disneyland, Disney World, or somewhere to celebrate this big-time victory that you guys had. Coach Rich, we're going to start with you. You've been how long you been coaching at Carl Albert now? What, 15? How long
It was my 10th year back.
10th year?
My first 9 were there, and then I left for a little bit, and this is my 10th year back.
Coach Rich, is this the first time you've ever made it to the finals?
Yes.
So I saw the picture, you hugging your wife and you hugging your son. You can just kind of tell all the emotion you had, winning the ball game and just, the all the practicing and all the hard work these young ladies put in. So tell us a little bit about, how the season started and, how they built up to, to get to the finals.
Had 4 returning starters. And so then, you're trying to mesh in, Kenley obviously was a pivotal role coming off the bench for us last year. And then, you mesh in 3 freshmen. So you had a lot of the old experience with the new. And I'm not going to lie, it took myself and my staff a little while to figure out everybody's role and things like that. And so, but when you have these 2 leaders that are on the screen with you, and then Hayden and Malia, they started every game for us last year as well. And so, and like I said, Kenley was in every game, didn't start, but obviously she played in every game for us and played a pivotal role. And then we just, meshed Zoe and the twins in. And so took us a while, but obviously we figured it out at the right time.
That's what it's all about. You talk about, bringing in, having Kenley. She took the role good. She was a starter. Most girls at that point of stage could have, backed out and said, man, I'm done and folded up the tent. But I thought I thought her and Hayden, I know we can talk about these 2 young ladies here, but I thought her and Hayden was big time players on Saturday, knocking down big shots, getting charges when you needed, so, if I had an MVP vote, I would have probably voted those 2. I know Jakari had the winning bucket and did great things, but, I thought it took as a team. I thought these young ladies gelled at the right time. And that's what it's all about, gelling at the right time. When you first come over, you have a lot of hype. Just kind of like these 2 young ladies, when they came over from Carl Albert Middle School, won a lot of ball games, with Coach E, then come over to the high school, then you got to kind of mesh it all together with some of the other girls you had that was there. Some stayed, some left, but I felt like, you did a good job putting the puzzle together. And I know this doesn't come together in one night, but I feel like you did a good job putting it together and, at the right time. So Jakari and Audrey, like I said, welcome to the show. But you two guys, have been big parts of these young girls, bringing them in, treat them like, little sisters, but then, hold them accountable, for, hey, we can go, when we looked at it on paper, we looked at this team could be a state champion team. I know everybody says that every year when they start their season off. Coach Vic could tell you probably the same things he thinks about every year as a coach. You're like, man, this could be the one. But I feel like you guys were a big part. You both did great jobs. Jakari, you've been on the show before now, and I think I even rapped one time. I said, you're going to go as far as 15 and 22 can take you. And I do really mean that because, you two are the head of the team. You're the ones that it goes through. And, if you're looking for a big shot, one of you guys is going to take it. So how do you two feel about, winning the state championship, especially being your senior year, going out on top?
I feel great about it. Definitely from like all the work we did since freshman year and like finally getting there to actually like winning it. I think it's like really great ending to like 4 years.
Well, Coach Richie, like I said, talk about the season, like I said, starting off, you go down to, you go down to Arkansas and playing the Tournament of Champions. I know you did some big time tournaments this year. And two of the teams that you played in the Tournament of Champions in and win the state championship themselves. So it tells you what type of competition you had. It's not like you went down there and played a bunch of JoJo's. You went down there and played some real teams. So, you took that obstacle course on to go down there. Is that why you did it? Because you knew this team could be a team that can compete? Or, it's just something that, hey, it's on the schedule. Let's go do it.
Well, absolutely. I didn't pick up the phone and the Arkansas TOC didn't call me. The Oklahoma TOC, I didn't call them. They called me. And when you get invited to those, you take it, and then you go learn from it. And I told the girls it was new for the shot clock. We tried to hurry and get everything done to test the shot clock out. We didn't. There were some situations, and I'll take that. That we kind of ran out of time, and those other two teams that had played with it before, we had not. That's no excuse. But North Little Rock, 6A state champ, Argyle, 5A state champ, and so the world wasn't coming to an end. We learned from it, and then you go to the Oklahoman, and we lose to Dale, which, by the way, good basketball team. They won that tournament. Coach Vic, I think they said that it was the smallest school to win the girls' side ever. Mm-hmm. And so when we lost that one, okay, Locust Grove finished in the Final Four in 4A. Sequoia Tahlequah finished Final Four in 3A, and we got 2 wins right there. I said, girls, coming home with a trophy, it wasn't the championship, but there's only one worse person that goes 3-0. 3 teams go 2-1, and so we brought home some hardware. We were fine. We were still trying to figure some things out. Right before the TOC, moved Kinley back to her, role coming off the bench, moved Zoe into the starting lineup, went a little bit smaller, went a little bit faster and smaller, kind of what we had been for years. And so that was an adjustment, putting her there. And, Kinley went back to her role. Like you said, could have pouted, but that's not what she is. That's not what she does. And she went back to doing that role great. And, you look at our 5 losses. Midwest C's a good basketball team. We lost to them by 4. We avenged that loss. Wasn't by enough to win the district. Oh, well, we finished second, still got to host. And then we avenged the loss. And, Tony, I've heard you say it. One lost, one, in that area final. And I don't know if anybody noticed in the first quarter of that game, the same situation happened. And so Banks was like, Richie, it's not right. So we got that shut down. And they were like, hey, you're really getting into it. I said, yeah, well, 1, this is for all the marbles. And 2, this just happened 9 days ago.
Yeah.
And so when they were like, hey, you're really calm down, coach. And I was like, well, this is a state championship.
Yeah,
you got to get this right.
Those 2 points can make a big difference of having a gold ball or a silver ball. It's funny you say that because I'm in South Dakota and my mom was screaming at the TV, the score's wrong. She was at the last game. So it's crazy that it happens twice to us, facing the same team. But, like I said,
I told Brian Lester and Lenny Hatchett, OSSAA workers, I'm sorry. and I apologize for getting into it, but it's for the gold ball. We needed to get it right. So I've already sent word out to those two, and I apologize because if anybody's seen me coach, I do get into it. And so there was no way I was letting that slide.
Oh, I mean,
Well, Audrey, you're back, so I know you get to hear nothing we're saying, but what has this season meant to you? You've been your senior year, you've already committed to go to Washburn. Congratulations on that. Looking forward to see what your next chapter is going to be. But what did the season mean to you? Being your last year, you played Booker T, you got in a little bit of foul trouble. I felt like this year you did a great job. And it's funny because we had Jordan on last night. And anytime you talk to Jordan, he always says his favorite line on the show is, if Audrey can stay out of foul trouble, I'm like, well, Jordan, you act like you're trying to put a curse on her, Jordan. Don't talk about him, I mean, it's like he wants you to get in foul trouble. But I really thought you did a great job, this year, staying out of foul trouble. So what did this season mean to you?
This season just meant the world to me because I was able to spend it with girls that I've played with in middle school or maybe some even before. Just felt great and know that I was able to help us somehow, some way, however it was, even if it was small, big, doesn't matter. Help us get to where we wanted to be, which is the championship, and to get the gold ball.
That's good stuff. Coach V, you got anything?
Well, Coach, every coach knows about when they're ready to turn that corner. For me, it's always been like Christmas break. We won our tournament for the first time in like 10 years, so I thought we turned that corner a little early, and then we kind of, I won't say get flat, but just kind of got stuck there for a little bit. And then we hit playoffs. I was like, oh, because Tony kept saying, oh, you could go to state tournament. I'm like, And then we hit a plateau where we turned that corner, and we started rolling. When was that? Was that a point for you somewhere in the season where you said, hey, we can do this?
And it sounds funny, but it was after the Midwest City loss at home.
Okay.
And the girls were sitting there. Coach Banks was holding the door, and I said, leave the door open. And they were celebrating, as they should. They came to our house, and they beat us. And I held the door open for about 30, 45 seconds. Their facial expression, I knew we were going to be okay. And I know that probably sounds silly. Boy, the next, how many games? I said, we have to max out by 15. And we went and did all those jobs against some good competition. Like I said, that right there.
Yeah.
It wasn't after a win. It was after a loss. And you just saw Malia Hatchett brought up a statement. And she goes, Coach, El Reno won it as a 2 seed last year. We beat them twice.
Mm-hmm.
All our goals were still in front of us.
Right.
And these two girls in this picture and everybody in that locker room, okay, we didn't get the district plaque. Even by losing to Newcastle, we didn't get the area plaque. But we were still fine. And that's when I thought the turning point was that first Midwest City loss, to be honest with you.
Well, y'all have a great example. Me and Tony kept talking about it, and I said, El Reno finished second last year and came playoffs. So you had a good example of the history have been flipped on you a little bit where you were second, but you know what? The team second last year won it as well.
Absolutely.
So you had a good example. Girls, you remember that moment?
Remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't think they were real happy with me. But
Coach, you talk about that moment, like I said, when you have two great seniors like you have, man, and I've had people call me not being there, but people's calling me like, man, 22-15. 15 is smooth. I've got a chance to be around Kari a lot because she played with Crush, and so I've got to see her on the circuit. But I thought Kari, going into last year, she was she's smooth as butter, man. It's funny because she don't really have any face impression, so you don't know if she's happy or she's sad. At least Audrey will kind of laugh and giggle. You can tell when Audrey's frustrated. Like the other night, she did something. She takes her hair and she flips it. Kari, you don't know if she's mad or sad or not. So you're like, man, what kind of mood she in? So I try to mess with her, and she's like, yeah, I'm okay. And I tell her that all the time, Mr. Brown. I was like, man, she just got that she got the Mamba in her. It's like when she wants to take over, she can. And I just felt like, the two seniors we have, and I know a lot of times people go get these kids and they think you're going to win with a freshman or sophomore. You win with seniors because they've been there. They know what it takes, and it's their last game. Win, lose, or draw that game. I mean, these girls they left everything on the court. But I tell you, when we talked about this yesterday on the show, and I know Richie, you probably listened to it today, but you talked about the leadership, and like so you talked about being in a huddle. Your huddle, everybody got their eyes on you, they're looking at you, and not knocking Newcastle because I love everybody over there too. Coach Jim's a good guy, but this is who I'm riding with, Kyle Albers, while we got y'all on the show. But you looked in their huddle, man, it was kind of like chaos, like somebody threw a bomb in there and everybody's trying to run and they're all looking around. And that's what comes from these two young ladies right here being leaders. The freshmen didn't freak out. Malia didn't freak out. Kinley didn't freak out. She sat there and took charge after charge after charge after charge. And I tell you, that last one, Coach, she took, it was like getting hit by a football player at full speed. She bumped her head. And the only thing I was praying, like, I hope she ain't got to shoot free throws. She didn't, but, so I was like, I don't know. She might not know where the goal's at if she gets up, but, she bounces back every time. And like I said, I think those are the turning points of the game. We got down by 6 or 7. They never panicked. They came back with 3 turnovers back to back to back. One of the big turnovers was when Audrey comes and ties Jordan up. They trap her. What do you call it? What do you always call it? What do you call it? The dead man's land or something like that?
Yeah, I just said, we funneled her dead man's corner, right over half court. Go Vic, you're shaking your head. Basically, It's like 4 people are guarding you. And hey, funneled her. I could see it from where I was standing. There goes Audrey. Just don't foul when you get there.
Yeah.
So we mirror it. And if she turns around to you, take it, and then we got it and it was our ball. And then, Kari gets fouled, makes it 2 free throws. And, I heard Kari in her interview, she goes, we shoot a lot of them every day. You're right. And Kari's laughing right now. Audrey's laughing because these two are usually partners. She made both.
Yeah.
And that totally changes if she doesn't. They're important. They can win and lose you a state championship.
No, I thought that was a big turning point because, like I said, and Coach, Coach Jim tried to ice her too. So that's even a little bit more pressure. You go sit on the bench for 30 seconds. Now you're thinking about it like, man. And that last one, it bounced around, and we had the basketball guys with us, but it went in. And so, and I kind of told myself, if we go in overtime, I felt like we had the momentum. I felt like they had kind of cracked a little bit, but I tell you, it starts with the 2 seniors, what they did. But, it takes the whole team to win, from practice to practice players to girls on the bench and cheering. And I felt like everybody was dialed in, even if they wasn't in the game or playing. I felt like everybody was dialed in, and that's what it's all about. And the most important thing that you like from this team is that every girl was crying. There could have been girls over there pouting saying, I didn't get to play, but they got tears come out their eyes like they played the whole game. And I felt like, and I kind of said this, last night on my other show, I feel like you girls started gelling. I think at the beginning, and Coach V talked about this, I think in the beginning, when the freshmen come in, they got all this hype, and then you're like, are they coming to take my spot? And I thought you did a good job with that, balancing everything out that, hey, yeah, they're freshmen. They're going to have their time. But at the end of the day, the seniors, I believe in that. The seniors, they did their part in like helping these girls grow up because, like I said, I think they're both great leaders. I'm looking to see what they're going to do at the next chapter. Congratulations, you, Jakari, for signing today. I think you're going to a great school. I love that coach. I think he's the guy that works his butt off, man. He's a team. He's a wolf pack of one. He does everything: his recruiting, his films, his Twitter, everything he does is him. So I just think I keep telling people all the time, I don't see this guy coaching junior college in the next 5 years. I can see him at a small Division I, Division II. So he's done a great job where he's at. So Jakari, congratulations to you. Washburn, tell me a little bit about Washburn because I don't know. I know they got a lot of tall girls, so you fit that program pretty good. So tell me a little bit about Washburn.
They're just a good program overall. The coach, she's a really great coach. They just won their national championship in their division. They just won that, so they were doing great this season. I just can't wait to join them. The girls are amazing. Just the whole school, campus, everything about it is just so great. I can't wait to join it.
So I got a question for you both because, Jakari, you just committed today. When you guys are going through that recruiting process, is it kind of mind-boggling because you're like, I can go to school here, and I know a lot of schools want you, Jakari. I know you turn a lot down because I know Bo wanted you. I know Southern Nazarene talked to you. So You know, and I know you kind of took the junior college route, which I think is good for you, because I do still think that you got a great opportunity to go play at a high level that you want to go play at. I mean, the choice is yours. But when you guys were doing the recruiting, was it kind of a mind-boggling though? Like, where do I go? Because Audrey, I know you could have went D1, and you know, you decided to go D2, and I love it because my son did the same thing, and it turned out pretty good for him.
You can go, Card.
I mean, it's definitely mind-boggling, especially with like all like the different colleges who like want you and stuff. But like honestly, you just gotta like figure out like where you fit best and like what's the best route for yourself.
Yeah, I say the same thing. It is really mind-boggling, but when you go somewhere and you know, like, this is where I want to be, this feels like home, then you'll just know once you get there.
You just want to get away from your mom. Tell the truth.
No, 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 no.
Well, let me give you some advice. When you go, you're going to get a workout. And a lot of kids don't do that workout. They feel like this is their first summer of non-AAU and they just want to take a summer off. But let me give you words of advice. That coach, when you walk into that very first open gym, they will know whether you've been doing that workout all summer or not.
That's it.
And that right there puts you ahead, or it could put you in the middle of the pack, or sometimes it could put you behind. So my word of advice is they're going to give you a workout. Get up to the gym, work out. You're still tight, and get up there and work out. And when you walk in, that first impression you have in that very first open run, where they're technically not supposed to watch, but they know, and they know whether or not you've been putting that work in or not. So that's just my word of advice moving forward.
Coach Rich, what you been doing all week, man? I know you're on spring break, and I know you're on cloud nine. So what's it been like, man? I mean, it's been 20-some years since Colorado won a state championship. I think TJ's the last young lady, and I saw the other pictures. I think Coach, Principal Miss Goggins was in a couple of the pictures. So what's it been like, though, bringing this back home, a place that you went to school at, the place that, you love and enjoy. What's it been like?
Great. I mean, if there's too many times I'm watching, every time I see a new video, I watch it. And I've watched some replays a few times, and I asked my wife, I said, we are state champs, right? She goes, yes, honey, we are. I said, okay. Just the reality.
You're telling her to pinch you? Is that what you're telling her to pinch?
It's great. I went out and worked on the farm today, went out and helped my mom do some things. And then y'all are going to laugh at this. I was in the car today. I was like, man, my truck stinks. And I was like, oh, that's why the uniform's in the back of my truck. So I ran up to it. We played on Saturday, and that bag was it was a little ripe. I'm not going to lie. But then, Tony, I walked around the field house by myself in the dark, and I looked at the pictures you're talking about. I walked into the locker room. Man, just from when it started, day one, and then I said this earlier, the blood, sweat, and tears. These two girls from when they were freshmen. I remember when they were freshmen, and now I don't get to write their name in the lineup anymore. Man, these two etched their name in history.
Yes.
I added it up today. Kari Audrey, you were 99 and 19.
Nice. Very good.
I mean, 99 and 19.
That's big time.
80 games over 500. I mean,
Yeah.
That's pretty dang good. Pretty dang good.
Well, girls, what does it feel like? I tell mine, we got a couple pictures on the wall, and every time we walk into practice or every time we walk on the floor, I always tell them eyes are looking at you. Them eyes are looking at you. How does it feel now, you know what, to be the eyes on the wall looking at the younger groups coming through now? Because your picture's on that. Your picture forever will be on that wall for everyone else to come in and watch and say, you know what, I want to be like that group right there. Because that's what we shoot before we walk by and say, we want our picture on the wall. The banner's going to hang, banner's going to hang up from the gym rafters or whatever. But, what's it feel like, girls?
Honestly, it feels great because especially with the last state championship being won by the girls was so long ago, for us to be able to be in it, to
You guys
me, it
was
just
being
feels
born.
like it just feels so
thought
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, I heard your ring side. I said we're going to keep it one, but some girl told me you're looking for a 2-knuckle ring, so you might be dragging a little bit on that handshake a little bit.
You know, Coach, once again, the reality setting in. I opened up my computer and there's like 4 or 5 designers that said, "Hey, Coach, I know we hadn't talked, but here's some designs." I'm like, "Holy cow!" You know, just things that I'd never even thought about. I talked to Jared Reese. You know, he's at Dover now, but when all those at Kingfisher, you know, just some. When I got home, I had like 300 text messages.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, "Holy cow!" So just so many things going through your head, you know, in your mind. So it's special. It's special.
How many text messages y'all get, girls, with your phone going ding 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 ding?
Too many.
Way too many.
That's kind of like winning a lottery. Somebody like, oh, who was that? Yeah, I went to second grade with them. They're like, congratulations. You know what I mean?
One thing I want to say is that I love the support that you have from Washington. You know, you had a team, Dell City, Sasha and Raina, they come out and support you guys. And you guys just beat them the night before. They could have held their head down and pouted, but they came out and supported. And I love that because, you know, that comes from, you know, great character. You know, I mean, a lot of people hate you guys for winning because everybody wants to win first, but you guys got it done. So I really like that they came out and Washington's cheering for you. And, you know, I mean, even, you know, it's funny because, you know, when we played Newcastle, then the next night our boys played them and we're in the student body, they're in the student body and they're talking about put a ring on me. And the funny thing is, you guys got the ring, you know, and I had you know, I can be petty because I told people we don't chase plaques, we chase gold balls. And that's just the truth because, you know, at the end of the day, you guys worked hard to get there. And it's, you know, if I told everybody, you know, I've been on different talk shows and no one picked us to win. No one picked Carl Albert to win. And I think that's what makes it so great because, you know, we don't have a bunch of, you know, Power 5, Power 4, you know, a bunch of D1 girls running around 6'2". I mean, your starting backcourt, it probably goes, you know, your point guards go 5'2", 5'4", and 5'6", and then you got Malia.
Aiden will be happy that you gave her 5'2". Look at them laughing.
And then you got Audrey, she's 5'11". Audrey's 5'11", but she's really 6'3" with her wingspan and all. So it makes up for our small girls. But I felt like we did a great job. The second time around rebound against Newcastle, I felt like Newcastle, I mean, they're a great team. They're a great AU team. A lot of those girls play ball together, but I thought you guys did back down, and I thought that's what they thought you guys were going to do. We beat you the first time. You know, we're going to come out and do the same thing. But, you know, even in the first game, you guys led the whole game for, you know, they beat us in the last minute, you know, and things happen. You know, everything happens for a reason. But I felt like you guys turned around and you didn't give up. And I think it gave you guys more hunger to go play these guys again. It's like, hey, man, they got us this time. We're going to take care of business because, like I said, when you guys got down by 6 and 7, my heart was beating just as fast. And I'm in South Dakota, and I'm thinking, oh, my God, they're going to – but you guys found a way to win. And, Coach, and a lot of that's you, though, you know. You kept them calm and collected. And, you know, in the bench and, you know, Coach Banks and Coach O'Hara, I thought they've done a great job. I know Banks has been with you for a while, and I think he does a really good job with the girls, too. I know he's always, you know, everybody has to look up to him, but he does a really good job, you know, with the girls, though. So, you know, I love what you guys have done, you know, this year. I know, you know, it's when you win, everybody's expecting you to win again. And, you know, you take 1 year at a time, but I still think you got a lot coming back to still compete and be competitive. And I know these two young ladies, like I said, they're going to go down and call Albert Hall of Fame because, like I said, winning the game and taking care of business is big time. Because, like I said, like Coach said, after the Middle City game, you guys could have folded. You could have folded your tent. You know, no one picked you to beat Bishop McGinnis, and you beat them by 30. You know, no one picked you to beat Dell City. You know, I mean, nobody, and you beat them by 15. Tulsa, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, the Tulsa game scared me a little bit because this team came in on an 8-9 game winning streak. And Chloe, you know, the young lady had just dropped 33 and then 21 rebounds, and we held it to 4 points. It just tells you what your defense are. Coach, are you more of a defensive guy or an offensive guy? Because it seemed like your defense has, you know, they turned it up a notch when you got in the playoffs.
Well, these two can attest. Right before the McGinnis game, I don't even know if we really worked much offense. Yeah, we did some shooting drills, but we were working fly switches and communication and who will stand in here and who will do this, who will do that. Because I said, it's a classic. I feel like a broken record when I was talking to Gordy and Jordan and B-Dog and all those games, like no live ball turnovers, no transition layups. rebound to one shot, who will take a charge. And I said, the offense is going to take care of itself. And I think everybody saw in that, especially that McGinnis game, that's exactly what it did. We held East Central to 40. I don't know what we held Dell City to, 30, 43. And then, so 40, 43, 45.
Yeah.
What else do I have to say? And, it's not the size of the dogs, it's the fight in the dog. And like you just said, Tony, 5 foot. Malia's 5. And then you bring in Kinley. I don't even think we have a 6-footer. And everybody did their job. Sheldy, Coach Vic, I know you hammer that home all the time. Where should you be? And these girls got heart. You can't teach heart. You have it or you don't.
We scrimmaged before when I was at Luther, and I had a really good team that did run and jump, and you were the same way. And so when you're that type of style of coach, if you have the pieces that you do it with, you're still going to be a defensive minded coach. You just change. Like, I can do much run and jump this year, but I could do this or do that. And our motto and our wall is defense is our offense. I mean, if you can't hit the broadside barn, you can at least rebound, play defense, shut somebody out.
Right.
It may not be your night. And I know that. And I kept telling Tony, defense, I said, I've played against you, scrimmage against you, and I know that, with the group that we went against, you were really good in guard orient, run and jump. So it does surprise me on defense that that's something that you hang your hat on, and you've got 3 or 4 young ladies that can score for you. And so you can shut down one. I still think Harold, her 3-pointers in the playoffs were huge. It allows driving lanes for everybody else because they can't help off of her. But again, that's a team-oriented group where one night it's Audrey with buckets, one night it is Jakari, next night it might be Zoe, next night it could be Harold, and I thought Sutton came in, hit a couple of big threes for you at times offensively, but she was there for defense, taking charges. I don't know. I'm going to guess 6 in playoffs, maybe, but she hit threes, knew her role, and then I saw you in August in summer league. And the thing that you had to have was these 2 young ladies stay healthy. I think I watched y'all play Edmond North, and I think Plunkett was on a leg and a half. She just got back from surgery, I think. And Jakari was banged up, and they stayed healthy all year for you. And that tells you how hard that run is that you made to get that ring. Is got to take everything fall in place just right.
You got to have a little luck too.
Yes, you do.
You know as well as I do. Hey, there were days, and I think we know our girls. There were some maintenance days, Coach Vic, that, man, we were done at 3:30, 4 o'clock, and there were some 4:30s that they rolled their eyes at me. And then, I text back and, hey, we're going to be done at 4. Let's get some shots up, ball handling, and go home. We knew what we needed to do. And if we don't have legs, we were never going to accomplish it. So it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yes.
And so there were some days that it was like, hey, we're going to get out of this gym. And luckily it paid off.
Girls, does that help you out some days? As a coach and asking a player to, when you get in that long grind in February, just get in for an hour 15 to get out. Does that really advantage to saving your legs? And just, basketball is the longest season out of all of them. It really is. And it can grind on you in February. The short practice sometimes really help you just energize yourself a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Because you get the rest up. You work on more simple things that aren't really strenuous on you.
Yeah, I definitely say it helps too, especially if you're stretching your stuff, doing something outside of it and not just laying around. As long as you're still helping your body move, it definitely helps.
Yeah, because offensively, you already know what you're going to do. You're just going to put some twist in it. And in defense, you're just trying to figure out how you're stopping who, whether it's over, under screens, things like that. But I think, Coach, I think you're right. Sometimes you get in that range. It's 4 o'clock. Let's get out of here. Let's get some shots up. We're going to work on some shell defense and shooting and get out.
Well, and these girls, there's watching film and then there's learning. Not I'm just watching it. And you know that as well as I do. Oh, hey, she's running away from the goal. What's she doing? Oh, flex screen, down screen.
Yeah.
These girls watch film. And if you can pick anything up, we can put it on a piece of paper. But when they learn it and they watch it, it helps.
Yes, it does.
So, ladies, I got a couple more questions. We'll get you guys out of here. So you're both done with your high school career. Are y'all gonna play any spring sports, or y'all just gonna just chill for it until it's time to go off to college?
I'm not doing any sports. I'm going to go to track to help out, but I'm not doing any other sports. Going to get in the gym maybe a couple times so I can still stay sharp, but besides that, nope, nothing else.
Shakari?
Yeah, no spring sports for me. I'm gonna be in the gym getting the shots up.
What is something you think you guys need to do before you go to college? What's one goal that you think you need to set for yourself? Because you're going from being the big dog to now you're gonna be the little puppy again. And you're gonna be playing against girls that's 22, 23, 24, even 25, 26 years old. What do you think you guys got to do to to get to enhance your game a little bit more?
Definitely get in the weight room. Because they're gonna be way bigger than what I am. So get in the weight room. And work on more ball handling.
Audrey?
I definitely say more my ball handling more too, and trying not to get so hard on myself and just work on doing what I got to do to help out, whatever I need to help out with.
So, I mean, like I said, there's a good chance you both could get redshirted. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I know as a parent, I was upset when Gabe got redshirted, but I felt like at the end of the day, it helped him become the man he is today. It made him bigger and stronger than we might have lost Shakari. But, I mean, I just think
there's no camera.
Yeah. I just think that, redshirting is not a bad deal. As a parent, we want you on the floor. We want you guys out there. But at the end of the day, redshirting is not a bad deal. I think it's going to help you guys, one, get to watch the game and learn the game, because it's a whole different ball game. You guys are going to be playing with a shot clock now. You're going to be playing with girls you have never played with. And, when you get in college, the transfer portal is real. You might have a girl that might be here today, and next semester she's gone. And so there's going to be something, you're going to get used to. I always tell kids to pick a college, and I think, you both did, because you talked about Washburn being somewhere that you feel like home. And I think you did the same thing, Shakari, is pick a coach that you love, because, it's all about that coach having that relationship, and I think that goes a long way with a lot of players, me and Vic kind of laughed about it last night, transfer portals over in high school. I've heard so many girls are leaving and coming and going, not coming here, but just leaving in their school and going to a different school. And sometimes I don't know if that's good or bad, because, you got to get the chemistry. And I think, Coach Rich, you said this the other day, we won with, it's not, I don't think you were taking a shot at nobody.
I think it was just a fact.
Yeah, just the fact that you won with girls that grew up right down the street. Their middle school was completely right down the street. You could throw a rock at it. And I think that helps, because you got this chance to see these girls at times and go down and catch a game. So I really does think that helped a lot, because I think, what happened is if you start seeing some of these girls, man, they've already transferred 2 or 3 different schools. And so then if you're planning on counting on them next year, they might be gone. So I really think that's, I wish we can kind of put an end to that. You can't, because it started in college, and guess what? It's kind of trickle down. I mean, I saw a kid the other day talking about, I'm leaving Edmond Memorial and I'm going to Mustang for football. Like, who cares, man? You're going to another high school. We don't care. But Rich, I know you're celebrating this, man, but here in a couple more months, it's going to be June, and it starts all over again, So what's kind of on your plate? You're losing 2 great ones, and so what are you thinking about for next year? I mean, I've got to put you on the spot just a little bit. I got to be a little bit tough on you.
Right. No, I've already been, the emails, hey, what summer are you going to doing this, and because they start filling up pretty quick. Tony, you can remember last year we went to Mustang. We went to Edmond North. We put them through. If we lose in the summer, learn. I'm going to put you in bad spots, and so we'll probably go to some really, really tough summer leagues and learn. I mean, nobody gets a ring in June. I mean, and so I couldn't even, if anybody can tell you your summer league record, geez, I've been in this 30 years. I couldn't even tell you what we did. But I want to shout out to these girls real quick. They were also academic state runner-ups at a 3.91.
Yeah, Coach, I'm kind of mad at you about that, Coach Rich. You gonna get wait a second. I know you're gonna give him a shout out, but Coach Rich, I'm gonna have to get on to you on this one though, because the last few years these girls have won it, so you get the.
I get it.
I'm gonna have to get. I'm gonna have to get on. I'm gonna have to talk to the wife, man. I mean, how we get beat, coach? We should have had 2 rings, coach. That's on you now. You owe me a lap next time I see you, coach.
Tony, you know me, I can take the heat. So no, but I just, we preach, we just don't say it at our place. They do it. And to be honest, when I told them that we got beat by an eighth of a point, they were upset.
Who beat us? What team was that beat us?
Altus got us.
Man, Altus ain't got to beat. Come on, coach. We got to check them numbers. Altus, come on, coach. Come on.
Coach Black does a great job there too. And so, in fact, I saw him. In fact, they got their
they got it the day that we played
East Central.
Yeah, East Central.
So I told him congrats, and he said, "Hey, you too, coach." So I just want to shout out that that's really good.
Yeah.
So they take that serious as well.
No, I got a chance to go to that award ceremony. You had a bunch of girls upstairs on the basketball team, man. And I had a buddy come in the office today, and he said, "Man, you only had 2 seniors, and you got." He's like, "Y'all are young." I said, "Yeah, we are." And a lot of those girls got a chance to play because they we were young and we beat a lot of teams. So a lot of those girls. I mean, like Amelia, I thought Amelia got better as the season went on. I know what's the young lady the softball player that we put her in the game and we told her to shoot every time, but I thought she got better as the season went on. I mean, just really, just watching her in warm-ups, first she couldn't hit the goal, but now she can knock down a shot. So I think a lot of girls got better as the season went on. And like I said, I think they became sisters. They're always going to have that bond. I mean, I was, going through some of their Instagram pictures and my senior, my freshman. I love that, man, because you know what? Those girls are going to cherish that for the rest of their life. When like you said, when they walk in that gym and they're hanging that banner, when those 2 come back for their 10-year reunion, I was the one that put us on the map in 2026, and the younger girls. So I love it. I said I love the way the season ended. I thought it couldn't end in any other better ways. A fairy tale season, and like you said, sometimes it is luck. I got to ask all 3 of you going into that game last Saturday, was you guys nervous? Be honest.
No.
No,
No.
I actually, and my wife told me this, she goes, "Your smirk after Kinley took the charge, like we got this." And then I pulled him over and I go, "Man, we're about to win this right now." I put 3 guards down there because I didn't know how he was going to defend it. Did I like that Kari got it? But I didn't trusted. I mean, I had Audrey throw it in, but I would have trusted Zoe and Hayde to get down the court quicker. And then if anybody remembers the Villanova game, when they played NC State, we were going to have 2 really good trailers, and we call it trail mix. So if somebody would have gone down, Zoe was going to come up for a ball screen. She didn't need it. Kari kind of just, I got this, and the rest is history.
On that play, it looked like she's done it 1,000 times, man. I mean, it was a tough shot. And we've had 1,000 people ask us, why did they roll the ball down? And my goal was not. This is what I told people. Was it a great move by him? It could have been because if you look at it, his girls are big, but it wasn't as quick. So if he comes and presses us, and Kari or Zoe or Audrey or Hayden brings the ball down and they beat him, now we're playing 5-on-4, and now we got an easy layup. The shot she took was still a tough shot.
Absolutely.
It was contested. So I mean, it was just a great play by her.
My wife looked it up, and I'm sure she's going to get it posted. I put the ball in that girl's hands against Del City her sophomore year in the regional
I remember.
final.
I was there.
And she, like I said, we're going to post it. It's a lot of the same shot.
Yeah.
She's going to her left, and a lot of people have told me, they go, "We'll just tell you how we defend you. We run you off the line. If you beat us, you got to score over length." And in my opinion, that's what he said. Hey, I got all these tall ones. She's got to shoot over a huge wingspan. She did, and it went in.
Yep.
She said she thought she shot it over the board.
So everybody can, like I said, crud, Tony. I mean, there's a lot of times, why'd you do this? Why'd you do? I mean, I beat myself up over decisions too. You think you make the right decision at the right time, and you still might have made the right decision. Players make plays. Jakari Brown made a heck of a play to win a state championship.
That's it. That's when they're both going to college. Ladies, before I let you go, here's it. What would you tell some of the younger girls since you guys are exiting out and you know, tell them to help them, you know, I mean, you got some that's going to be there for another 3 years. You got some 3 that's going to be there for just another year. What would you tell some of the younger girls, you know, that something you experienced and something that they can do to make themselves better?
I would say don't worry about the game. Like, not don't worry about it, but don't worry about, oh, if I mess up, am I going to get took out? Oh, if I mess up, don't worry about messing up. Just keep playing, because no matter what you're going to do, you're going to keep playing. Don't get in your head. Don't pout. Don't stop. Just keep going and don't stop. Just keep trusting yourself.
Yeah,
Sorry?
and I would say trust in each other, play as a team and have fun with it.
No.
You know, Tone, I'm going to bring this up real quick. Audrey was 9 minutes a game her freshman year. Kari was 7 minutes a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then they started every game their sophomore year and on. So they didn't quit. They got better. And
Just process.
they're going to college.
Hey,
2,000-point scores.
you know, I'm on that, you know, I know it's tough as a coach, you know, everybody wants their baby in, everybody wants their baby to be a starter. You've had some girls leave, you know, and I talked about this last night. Imagine, you know, I mean, we can imagine this fairy tale, but, you know, think if Tori don't leave, if Skylar don't leave, if Essen don't leave, then Jordan don't leave. I mean, how deep is this team? But, you know, at the end of the day, Vic kind of talked about this. It's not enough balls to go around. And I think that's why these two young ladies are where they're at, because, you know, I've never seen Audrey get mad that Jakari had more points. I never seen Jakari gets mad because Audrey had more points, or Zoe led the team in scoring. I didn't feel like, well, that freshman shouldn't. I didn't feel that. You know, I felt like these girls were like, man, I'm telling you right now, Jakari scores that bucket, Audrey breaks down and she's grabbing her and loving her and thanking her. And, you know, some girls would have pouted about that, or some parents would have pouted about that. And that's why I think this team set themselves to be very successful, because at the end of the day, they trust each other. They talked about that. I think at first it was kind of rocky because you didn't know what was going on. We didn't know who should start, who shouldn't start. And at the end of the day, that's your job. That's what you get paid for. Not me, not my wife, not Coach Vic. You get paid to do that. You know, like I told you the other day, there's things that you do I might love, the things you do I might not. But at the end of the day, it's your job, you know, and I got to trust you. Now, I mean, and I thought at the end, it came out strong. It did, you know. I mean, no one's perfect. That's why we're here. And so I love, like I said, I really love the way it ended. I think these girls are going to keep making runs. I think Carl Albert's kind of put themselves on the map as a girls basketball team. Has always been football. But now, Rich, you can walk down the halls with your chest out and tell the swim coach, I got one too. Mike Dunn, I got one. You know, Coach Hodges, I got one. You know what I'm saying? Baseball, softball. Kinley, you know, she has two. Now we got to catch up with her. But I'm just saying though, I know it feels good to be that, because, you know, we wasn't a drought. Not saying it was all your fault. It was a drought before you came there. So, and I just think that's what makes it so special, because, you know, when everybody brought Newcastle to 5A, they were going to win. Them in Dale City. Well, Coach, you did a hell of a job, because you knocked off East Central, a team that won their area. You knocked off Dale City, the number 2 team in the state that won their area, and you knocked off the number 1 team in 5A that only had 2 losses out of state in Phoenix, and you knocked them off. So, yeah, you can walk around and skip around and whatever you want to do. You go jump in your pool with your shorts on. We're going to be happy for you tonight, because you deserved it. You ladies deserve it. And that's what it's all about, man. You took care of business, man. And, you know, like I said, you could have folded tit after the Midwest City game. Everybody was ready to run you out of town, probably run the bus over you. But you know what? You kept your process, and that's what it's all about, though. So, you know, that's what it's all about. You know, you win some, you lose some, but you're hell right now, Coach. You a damn state champion coach. That's all I got to say. You a damn state champion coach. So,
yeah, you know,
appreciate that.
These girls, I mean, you know, I'm sure they didn't always agree with me, and then probably I'll get a smirk from both of them. But, you know, they look at them. But they ride and died together, and like I said, they're champions.
And that's what it's all about. Champions. Can't nobody take that from you. Can't nobody take that from you. Well, guys, and like I said, we really appreciate you, man. Like I said, Rich, man, enjoy the rest of your spring break. What you got going on? Son playing baseball? Is the wife off with you this week? Or you just kind of chilling, relaxing? What?
No, like I said, I've got just as she calls them, some honeydews that I have neglected for about the last month. So not hard, just some things that I need to get done, and then March Madness starts tomorrow, so probably watch some basketball as well.
Yeah, it feels good. That's what Gabe said. He said, Dad, it's going to be good to watch the NCAA tournament, and I ain't got to stress about wrestling. So I know it feels good.
By the way.
Yeah. I'm a proud papa because I had 2 champions in one day. Boy, that's a trivia question, ain't it right, Coach V? A lot of people can't say that. I had a son that won his 3rd, and I had a daughter as a freshman win one. So I'm pretty proud of it. But like I said, I give a lot of credit to you 2 ladies. Taking Audrey, I sent you something last night, man. Just, thank you guys for taking her under your wing. I know she loves you guys, man. Like a big sister. She learned a lot from you guys, man. And I love that you guys trust in her to let her go do her thing out there. If she took a shot, she missed a shot, you guys still said it was okay. So that goes a long way with me, man, because I tell you right now, it's all about team. It's all about friendship, because I'm telling you right now, man, this is here today and it's gone tomorrow. So, but you guys deserve every flower that you get. You enjoy every moment of this because, like I said, it's great. It really is. And then, like I said, you 3 did a great job. You 2 young ladies, like I said it earlier. When you got 15 and 22 in your team, you go a long way, and you guys took us a long way. So appreciate it, Coach V. Anything else before we let them go?
Well, Coach Rich, appreciate. Congratulations. You had some kids leave, and you stuck to your coaching style, who you are. You're true. You didn't change. And as a coach, as a colleague, I understand how that works. And you got to be true to yourself. So at the end of the night, you can sleep well knowing that you did what you do. So congratulations on that. Girls, you're going to please soak up every honor you get coming up. We're a big all-city, all-state, OGBCA, make sure you go to those tryouts. Make sure that, you get a chance to play in May, do that. And hopefully you get to stick around in late June and you play in the OCA also, because you're only going to get them one time. You're only going to get them once. And it is amazing to be with the peers of 15 or 10 players that were chosen by coaches, and you're among that group to be on that court. So if those honors come, you please take them. I know you pass up vacations in summertime, but please do that because it is something. I've coached in it. I'm sure Coach Richard's been in it too. And even as a coach, I could be on vacation in late June, but my peers chose me to do that. So
absolutely,
good luck in the tryouts. Hopefully we see you at all state games and OGBCA and OCA. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, Coach, guys, appreciate y'all coming on, man. You guys were our first ones. We're going to have every high school team that won and girls won a state championship. We want to start with you guys because y'all are family. Know you guys pretty good, so we probably went a little bit longer than we wanted to, but when you're having fun, it's always good to talk. Coach Rich, like I said, enjoy it, man. You deserve it. You 2 young ladies, man, good luck to you in your next chapter. I don't know I get to see you as much as I have. But like I said, I love you both, man, and I'm looking to follow you guys in college. I'm a Twitter guy. Anything you guys do, I'm gonna retweet. Because you guys deserve that, man. We went back and did. It's funny because we went back and did Sha'Kari's little story when she said, "I want Newcastle," and and it was like a fairy tale. And then she's like, "Who's gonna take the last shot?" She says, "Me." And then we played this clip that she knocks in that last shot. So, man, that's pretty cool. So, like I said, you guys deserve every flower that you get. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Guys, take care.
All right.
Well, folks, that's the Carl Arbor Lady Titans 5A state champion with Coach Rich and his two beautiful young ladies, Sha'Kari Brown and Audrey Plunkett, both about to go play college ball. I wish them the best of luck, Coach, man. You talking about 2 young ladies, man, like he said, they played 7 minutes, Coach, 7 minutes. They could have packed up and left. They could have said, "Hey, I'm going to go over to Choctaw."
Right.
I'm going to go over here. Didn't make it. I'm looking at all those kids that left, and I know they're probably second guessing, but these 2 didn't second guess, and they trust the process, and that's what makes it great because, sometimes the grass look greener because my neighbor across the street, his grass is green. because mine ain't started. I ain't watered it yet because he got that good grass.
Yeah.
But these two ladies stuck with the process, and guess what? They're state champions and can't.
Well, you know, the thing that he mentioned again, these young ladies, they come through. What I like about that, and I've had groups like that when I made my first state tournament at Lutheran, I can go see their parents on the wall. I can go see them in the grade book. And the thing is the pride of the uniform, the pride of being a Lady Titan and seeing that thing through. I mean, you can transfer and you can win rings, but when you're a little kid and, you know, and teams that come through and you're sitting in the stands in your little league jersey and you're dreaming about that being you one day on that court, that you on that wall, and you stick it out for 12 to 13 years, that means a lot. That's pride in your uniform. I'm sure there's times that they wanted to maybe leave, whatever, other kids are leaving. They stuck through the process, and I'm so happy that they got a chance to win that, put their name in that Titan history.
No, Coach, you're exactly right. I mean, this is the day and age the kids want to pack up and leave. It starts in college. These kids see it goes in college, and I know Coach talked about watching the tournament, you know. And I used to be a big tournament guy. I would get guys together and we'll do a bracket, $20 a bracket. But Coach, there's so many kids that's left. I don't know who they are no more.
I don't watch anymore. I can't. It's hard to pick a favorite anymore. I mean,
yeah,
you know,
everybody leaves. You know,
on the girls' side, I can watch UConn because you know, a kid like Becker's gonna be here like 5-6 years after injury. You know, you got some other kids. But boy, I'm telling you, watching the men's tournament is tough because the kid's been in 3 schools in 4 years. I mean, I got to keep up with you. It's hard to have a favorite player in college basketball to me.
No, you're exactly right. I'm right there with you, man. It's like, man, you know, these kids pack up and leave and move on. And the girls is not as bad. You know, you saw the one girl left LSU. She's at South Carolina, and she still ain't beat her old team. She probably should have stayed there. But like I said, man, I mean, congratulations to him and these young ladies, what they did this year, taking care of business, doing their thing, man. You know, I mean, when you first put it on paper, you're starting a freshman, you know, midway through the season, and you know, and changing your lineup a little bit because you know he's always been 5 out. He ran a little bit with the bigs, and like I said, a lot of these girls got some playing experience. I mean, so that's why I think they're still going to have some talent. You know, with Vanessa and the twins coming back. You know, I still think there's a young lady that's really, really athletic. In Isis, you know, I think she can do some things. I think she could be a great defensive player. I think if she gets in the gym a little bit more this summer, she can really help the team. And you know, it's funny because you know he talked about summer league. You know, summer league he didn't have Audrey. You know, and he played Newcastle the first time, and in summer leagues I think that's what Coach Rich knew that. You know what? We could play with them. We didn't have Audrey the first time we played them in summer league, and they beat us by 6. And then you know, I think you know we might have lost a couple other games, but we never got blown out in summer league. And that's, you know, at that time he was playing a lot of freshmen because some, you know, Kinley wasn't there. She was at softball. You know, Jakari played, you know, so he was playing a lot of young kids and they competed. So I think, you know, going into this year, you got to replace 2 great scorers, but I think that, you know, I think you spread the ball around, and I think that's why one of the things he preaches about, you know, one girl not scoring so many points, you know, then you ain't got to depend on that girl if she gets shuts down. So I kind of see that model. At first I didn't understand it, but now I see it because if we're double teaming, you know, Zoe next year and she's our leading scorer, guess what? If Zoe's not scoring and the other girls are not used to scoring, guess what?
Exactly.
We're not going to score. But now if everybody's chipping in 10, 11, 12 points a game and you play good defense, because like I said, it's not like he scored a ton of points on Saturday. You know, it was 47, 45, you know, but it was spread around. I think, you know, Jakari had 15, Zoe had 10, and Audrey had 9 or 10 or somewhere in that range. So it was spread around. And, you know, so that's what makes it good about this team. You just can't key on one girl. I mean, I always thought that because I was like, man, we're gonna play Jennifer Douglas again. You know, what's she going to do? Jakari, last time she went off, Jakari had 27 against her. Is Jennifer going to try to double her? But if Jennifer doubles her, now you got Audrey going off, or you got Kinley, or you got Zoe, or you got Malia, or you got the twins. So there's a lot of different ways you can score. You know, and I really thought, you know, we didn't, you know, a lot of times he runs that little weave. And we didn't run that. We ran that a lot the first time against what's called, and then, you know, they try to be in the zone. They try to be in the zone, but we knocked down some big time shots and we still got to the bucket and got fouled. So I'm not
gonna call Coach old, but I can tell you, us old coaches, we got a plan starting in May. And that's the plan, the toughest summer league you can, to challenge your kids and find out who are going to be those kids that are going to be step-up scorers that besides your star player. Those kids mature during summer league.
Yes, sir.
You know, and if you're playing without Plunkett or so-and-so's off to a EYBL tournament or whatever tournament, you know what? Next man up, win or lose, you're going to learn to fill this role. And I'm going to see whether you can or not.
Well,
Now,
like you said, you
old
don't
coaches know that. Young coaches, they want to win every game in summer league. Old coaches were like, you know what? That ain't what we're here for. We want to win, yes, but we got a plan in mind. And you may not know the madness, but there is a plan in there. Trust me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Coach, you know what time it is. Hey, 5A state champions, Carl Albert. Lady Titans, bring it home. 26. And the Lady Titans close up the deal, win the state championship. We want to thank everybody that tuned in to another great episode of Oklahoma High School Girls Between the Lines, which entered the name real soon. I'd want to thank Coach V for joining me again tonight. And like I said, we'll have 4 other teams that we'll be bringing on and talking about their road to the goal and how they punch the ticket and how they finish the ticket. So, folks, we'll catch you next time on Oklahoma High School Between the Lines. My man, Coach V, and myself, TJ. Wow. See ya.
We'd like to thank the following sponsors: Above the Line Hoops, Prep Girl Hoops, Keep It 100, and for the latest in high school girls basketball action, check out the podcast